Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Father and Sundays, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. This week is episode 132.
132?
Yeah, and we're back on the Biomes
Are we
series,
really?
and we're talking about swamps.
Oh, lovely.
So stick around if you want to hear more. Hello Dad, how are you this week?
Oh, hello, Connor. I'm okay, thank you very much. And son, sorry. Yes, second week of my holiday,
David,
so
sorry.
lots going on, but yeah, I'm okay. Bit of cough, so I do apologise if I just can't speak.
What just
No, if
happened?
I have to have a little cough off mic. So
Cough
just,
off?
Yeah, cough off mic.
It sounds like
Not
you're
easy to
stuttering.
say. Yeah, I probably will do by the end of it. But yes, it's been a busy week. Lots going on.
Oh, I say
little sniff
weeks,
there.
but you did... No, I was saying weeks.
Oh, right,
But
sorry.
obviously
I
we
thought there
already
was
did
a
one
snake
last
in
week,
the
didn't
room.
we? So
Yeah, we did one last week. I'd been to Suffolk. There was lots of
Yep,
adventures
we
there.
spoke about that.
This week, there's been a lot of DIY going on.
I cooked
In
dinner
fact,
twice, didn't I?
You've cooked dinner. You cooked dinner twice for me,
Yeah.
and then you've cooked your own dinners because you've been getting these ones through. I'll tell you
Cooked
what,
meals 4 times this week.
very, very tasty. And I think the more you're doing it, the more you're getting the hang of.
I think the potato one was better.
Yep.
I really liked the one that, although you did try a little bit of, so you've actually tried all 3 meals I had this week.
Oh, there you go then. Yeah, they are really good. And I guess the like today we've tried to do it with our own ingredients. And we actually substituted a couple of bits in there, like we didn't have any macaroni, so we had to put
Penne.
eggs and flour.
Oh, right. I didn't realise you were about to make a joke.
No, I wasn't really making a joke, but no, we had to put other things in there, but it still worked out all right. It still tasted really nice. So
Yeah, again, it was penne, not eggs and flour.
yeah, I know.
But just
Big
clarifying.
fan though. I am a big fan of it. I think it's
Big
working
fan.
out quite well. There's a big fan over there as well.
Yeah, it's directly on me. You get any of the wind from
My
the fan?
foot is
Your foot, you've got a cool foot.
just working out because I had my legs crossed there. Yeah, my right foot
Oh, right.
is
They
sticking out a bit
change
more.
around when you were...
Well, no, it's just that if I look down, then that looked like my left foot, but
Oh,
it's
right.
because I've got it crossed over my right foot.
Yep.
Or the other way around.
You got it crossed over your left foot.
Yeah. Now,
Left leg.
anybody who listens to these, I used to do shed news. And it was about the old shed, not the old shed, but the little shed. But now the big shed's had a makeover in the last week. I've been working very hard on it, and it's looking really,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And I was so impressed with it, and I was really pleased. I had to do a little bit of fiddling about because I'd gone backwards and forwards to the DIY shop. And then you came in from work, didn't you? And
Yeah,
at first
came
I
in,
knew of it.
looked out my window, my bedroom window, because I looked down on the shed.
Yeah, and what
and,
did you say? The first thing you said to me, not, "Evening, Dad, how you doing? You look like you've been working hard." You said, "What?"
I said, one of those strips on the shed is a different colour.
And it
Because
is a different colour.
You put the felt on the top of the shed, but
Yeah.
I don't know, 5 of them are grey, but one of them's green.
Yeah, and I didn't realise the other one was green. It was the older stuff we had. And if I'd have thought about it, I'd put it in the middle so it looked like I'd done it deliberately.
No, it's just off on one side.
It's off one side, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. But that's all done, so I'm
And
really
you
pleased with
painted
that.
it
And
as
I
well?
painted it. Yeah, I'm really pleased with myself.
Yep.
Yeah, so all good. Went to see Wicked, which was a present from
Which was
yourself.
what?
Which was very good.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought that for you.
Brilliant.
Not the entire show. I'd bought 2 tickets for it.
We had about, and I don't exaggerate now when I say about 100 kids sitting around us because there was like a school of drama.
It's
that
school
come in.
holidays, isn't it?
And I thought, one of them flipped their drink and it went over Mum's back, and I thought, this is going to be a nightmare. They were good as gold after that, and
Yeah.
it's excellent. So
Mum
thank
wasn't
you
there.
very
You had
much.
to take her out, didn't you?
I had to take her out. She melted because when the water hit her.
Very,
No, but that
very
would
clever.
mean-
I like that.
Did you see it? Well
Yeah.
done there, yeah. But I would just like to say now, I don't believe my wife's a witch. I think she's lovely.
Was that pre-planned?
No, it wasn't. No, just thought
Very
that
well
as a
done.
comment. Thank you very much. It's better when you
Might
don't
just
repeat
stop
about
now,
it.
actually.
Yeah, it's peaked. I told you, the tablets I've taken have kicked in. We've had your sister and
you
your,
make it sound like you do. It's like dodgy now.
no, not them sort of tablets. These are Lemtip ones, just to try and keep my head from exploding. Your sister and your nephew came down.
Yep.
There's one of those coughs I was talking about, because we've got the baby shower tomorrow for your other sister. So that was
And brother-in-law.
a bit hectic, and brother-in-law, sorry.
And niece.
And niece to be, yeah. So that's something exciting to look forward to. I don't quite know what tomorrow holds. I'm going to be running around after my little grandson probably, but yes, exciting times. You had quite an arrival as well, didn't you?
I'll tell you what, this week has been fantastic. For one thing, well, actually, I'm going to go back on what I've just said there.
Go on then.
There's multiple things that made this week exciting. One of which is the fact of, as of today, there's only 9 days until Lucy comes back from America.
Girly comes back
for 3 months, which is quite exciting. Haven't seen her for ages.
I'm quite excited. I've missed her as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't be seeing her in 9 days though.
All right, thanks. No, but so it'd be nice to see her and see how she's got on and all the rest of it. But I know you're looking forward to it.
Very much so. Because we're in single digits today. Yeah. The other thing that happened this week, which is the thing that I was actually going towards, is I had a printer delivered.
Yeah, good job you didn't say about the printer before your girlfriend coming back. Yeah.
Big old printer, very big. You had to buy a new table. You went to IKEA, didn't you? You had to buy a new table.
I went
just
to
for
IKEA, and we bought a new table for it. I'm looking at it now. It looks a lovely table. I've
been printing lots of things. I bought new paper this morning. That arrived at 7:30.
Yeah.
Yep, A3. It prints A3 and A4, and it also prints CDs and DVDs because I have printed a DVD with stuff on it.
Yes,
very exciting.
It is exciting when you buy a new gadget.
I was speaking to Lucy about this.
It's not just a printer, is it? Let's face it. It's more of a multimedia system.
Yep. Plays music.
Yep. No, it doesn't play music.
No, it doesn't play music.
And I don't know why I went, no, it doesn't, because obviously it doesn't, but it's not just a printer.
You can print
what I've been really impressed with.
Music sheets. You know what you write a score
manuscript. That's what it's called, manuscript, yeah? Yeah? Why you if something happens, everything went quiet. Yeah, manuscript, yeah?
Right, yeah.
Okay. Why are you looking at me funny? Because I said manuscript.
Don't worry. Yeah, so you can print that, so you can kind of do music on it.
Oh, see, that's where you're going with that, was it?
Don't worry about it.
I don't know what's going on there.
Let's just move on.
All right. Did I ruin something then by just shouting manuscripts loudly?
No, you didn't. Yep, so got that. It was a fairly expensive printer. It's quite a nice printer though. Yeah. It takes up a lot of space in my bedroom. Realised I bought it on the
table was quite expensive.
Yeah, I need to send money to that actually.
Well, you better do that. Yeah.
Ordered it because it was on a Prime Day deal. Because I had a look, wanted it. I thought, oh, that's really cool. I want that. And then literally a couple of days later, it was a Prime Day deal, and I was like, I either get it now or not. So I got it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Because we've just talked about the fact that it's there, yeah?
It takes up a lot of space. I can't roll my chair all the way back now.
No, that's all right. It used to annoy me when you did that anyway.
What?
No, but it prints out on CDs and everything. It's very flash.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that all about your printer?
I was speaking to Lucy about this the other day, and I said to her, the thing is the printer is I keep getting excited about it and want to talk to people about it, but clearly it's not that interesting for people, and I understand
that's not
that.
The sort of thing you put on a podcast or anything, is it?
No, it's not the kind of thing you talk about on a podcast, but I was talking to Lucy about it, and she went, yeah, and I was I went to her. She went, I said to her, oh, yeah, because you clearly look interested. But she went, I feel like I've done quite a good job of making it sound like I'm interested.
Oh, at least she's honest.
and I was like, yeah, no, I appreciate the fact that she just listened to me talk about it for a while.
And that's what relationships is all about.
Yep.
Kind of listening to people and then making out you're pleased with it. Yep. Well done.
Does Mum do that for you?
Mum doesn't listen to me at all.
Mum doesn't listen to you?
No, but she would say I don't listen to her as well, and she's got some quite lengthy examples of when I haven't listened to her and I've just said something that's completely ridiculous. She spoke to me about something once and I thought she said slippers and I said about size 11 and it was completely different to what it was, and she will always bring that up.
Do you remember when you bought her a different kind of tree? Didn't she want an orange tree and you bought her a lemon, or the other way around?
Yep. Yes, that's right. But I think that was more to do with me not identifying fruit. You know, there were before these podcasts when I, looked into these sort of things.
Well, it's kind ignorant. Of the internet wasn't there, but it's not like
and that's back in the days. What you had to do is you had to ask people. Yeah, I'd ask people. So I'd ask someone. I'd go, what's an orange? And they'd go with one of these yellow things. I'd go, thanks, mate.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah, that's how it happened. Before God sent us and everything, it was.
See, I bought her a pineapple the other day, didn't I?
Yeah, a little while ago.
I intended to buy her a cabbage plant. Did you? Yeah, just asked someone. Is there a cabbage plant? And I went, yeah, it's that pineapple shaped thing over there.
Is that still alive, that pineapple plant?
Apparently Mum's told me this,
Yeah.
But apparently they do die off before they come back.
That sounds like a lie to me.
Does sound like a lie, doesn't it?
Yep. Talking of things dying out, right?
Yeah.
I read something interesting. Before we get on to the subject matter here, I know we've been going on for a little while. It's about endangered animals. They're talking now, seriously talking about this, and I will talk to you about that ruler in a minute that you're holding in your hand. But they're seriously talking about it. Samples of the most risk animals species on Earth. I don't know what I've written there, but basically the animals at the most risk on Earth, by putting them on the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not exposed to all the detrimental factors of Earth. They'll be kept on the poles, so it'll act like a fridge because it's so cold at the poles.
Oh, hang on. So they're talking about like preserving them on the moon.
Well, first of all, when I read it, I thought they were just going to take some
Like a big
animals
zoo.
onto the moon and keep them there so we don't ruin it, right? And then I thought, well, they'd just keep floating off, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
No,
you'd have to wear... Yeah, no, they would. Well, they would, wouldn't they?
Well, if they jump high enough.
Well, sheep, for a start. If there's a rare breed sheep...
And there's
if
if there's a rare breed sheep and a fence, you know.
Yeah, rabbits. Other jumpy animals.
Kangaroos.
Yeah, kangaroos, absolutely, Connor. So tests are being done at present...
Kangamoons.
I'm going to move on there. Tests are being done at the present with the starry goby. Do you know what a starry goby is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a goby.
Which is a fish,
Yeah.
Well, they made it really complicated there. They confused me a little bit because they said tests are being done at present with the starry goby as the guinea pig. So make up your mind.
So just help us the guinea pig.
Yeah, make up your mind what you're doing. And the beauty of it is no one nation owns the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those specimens and that will be preserved and no one can really lay claim to them. No one can really do anything and it will be a joint Earth project. I didn't know there's a UN agreement from 1967 called the Outer Space Treaty, which means that that no one person can own the moon or no one nation can own there you go. Thought you'd find that
Like to see
interesting.
them try.
Well, the way things are going, people will just do whatever they like anyway. So, yes.
Yeah, a piece of paper's not going to tell you.
Right.
It's going to stop.
About that
everything,
ruler, don't
about
start putting it on the side of the desk and flicking it. You did that once before during the podcast and it really annoyed me.
Not with the ruler.
Did you not?
No.
I thought you were doing that boing thing.
No, not on the podcast.
Okay.
And
Anyway,
I wasn't doing that them anyway.
what are we talking about today,
We've
Connor?
broken the fourth wall. There's
I
no
have a little
ruler.
bit. No.
We're in a big black empty room.
Are we?
Yeah.
What are we talking about today then?
We're
from
talking about
printers.
print. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about biomes or swamps.
Right, so we've already talked about
Deserts.
deserts, and we've already talked about
Tundra.
So this is the third in our...
Biomes.
So where are we going to go first? Well, you know what I like to do at the beginning? I'd like to give you a definition of a swamp.
Yep.
Or a definition of whatever we're talking about. Not every time am I going to give you a definition of a swamp. So a definition of a swamp, an area of low-lying, uncultivated ground where water collects, a bog or marsh.
Oh.
Right. But then I looked into it because I started looking and thinking, well, what's a swamp? What's the difference between a swamp? Have we got swamps in the UK and that? So I looked at the difference between a swamp and wetlands. And do you want to know what that is?
What's the difference between swamp and wetlands, Dan?
Well, to be honest, wetlands are swamps, Connor.
Oh.
They're also peatlands, sloughs, marshes, muskets, bogs, fens, potholes and mires. Most scientists, but not all, consider swamps, marshes and bogs to be the major three kinds of wetlands. A swamp is a wetland permanently saturated with water and dominated by trees.
Oh.
So does that make it clearer?
So it's dominated by trees. Does that mean that if you try and move in, the trees will be like, they own it?
Yeah, I don't think there's any treaty. I know
Treaty, nice.
Treaty. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that, yeah.
And we thought we'd peaked.
I'm going to take these limsips before I do this every time.
Would you live
know
in a swamp?
what you're thinking.
Would you live in a swamp?
Well, I'd have to have something secure to live in. So I'd have to have something that, like one of these boat houses or on stilts. Excuse me. Where people live in that sort of area. But it's the only thing. There's some animals that I really, really don't like that live near swamps.
Like
and
frogs.
we'll come to that. Yeah.
But I've played Red Dead Redemption 2, and you go in a swamp in that, and it's quite cool. Some of it. Make a swamp a home.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an ogre.
That's very true,
They
actually.
live in swamps too.
Yeah. But I know what you're thinking now. I can see it in your eyes. You want to know what is the difference between a swamp and a marsh, don't
I was
you?
actually thinking, when will I get an opportunity to watch Trek 2? But what is the difference between a swamp and a marsh?
Well, look, I'll tell you now, swamps are predominantly forested, while marshes have few, if any, trees, but are home to grasses and herbaceous plants, including annuals, perennials, and biennials.
Thank you.
Yep. Did you enjoy that?
Yep, I did. Thank you.
And I think the problem with that is that's a swamp and a marsh, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the other thing you want to know, and I know if we don't cover this now, we'll have people writing in, what is the difference between a swamp and a bog?
I would really like to know what the difference is between a swamp and a bog.
Well, I can tell you that now. Bogs usually start as a shallow pond that slowly fills with rotten leaves and plants. Then mosses and other plants grow, spreading out from the shore across the surface, forming a thick mat. So there you go.
Thank you.
I think to set us up for the second section, that gives you quite a lot of information about what a swamp is.
I feel like my swamp knowledge has improved.
Fact check. In last week's episode, Doctor Who, I said that the Christopher Eccleston episode where the little boy wears a gas mask and asks, "Are you my mummy?" was called The Lost Child. It was in fact called The Empty Child, not The Lost Child. Fact check.
I've not thought about how I'm going to start this next bit.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, that's interesting. Would you like me to start it then?
Yes, please.
You would like me to start it? Okay,
Yep.
that's very interesting. Look, I know that there's a big want for information about swamps and wetlands and things like that.
I mean, to be
it's a
fair,
serious concern.
I see it plastered everywhere, like on the sides of buses and on plasters where
Yeah.
people have cut their fingers. They want to go, they want to know about swamps.
Well, I guess the good news is how much of the Earth's surface is covered by wetlands.
But I don't know.
Well,
How much is covered by wetlands?
although wetlands in all their forms only cover 6% of the Earth's surface, right? The bit that got me actually is serious now.
Does it make you emotional?
It did make me think. I knew nothing about swamps apart from the Shrek films up until this point. But
You've been to a swamp.
I have been to a swamp. We'll come on to that. So I do know a little bit more about it. That was a lie. So I say 6% of the Earth's surface is wetlands. Let's call it wetlands.
Lands of the wet.
But 40% of all plant and animal species live or breed in wetlands. So even though it's only 6% of the surface of the Earth, 40% of plant and animal species. I mean, for biodiversity and if that's the right word to use, it's huge. Surely.
To be fair, though, that makes sense to me because if you think about it, if we spoke about deserts before, didn't we?
We did.
And how many animals and plants breed in deserts?
Not as many.
No. And we spoke about the tundra before. How many plants and animals breed in?
Well, I guess because they're extreme, but they're not extreme in the same ways as a wetland.
Yeah, and also even just on an average street,
Yeah.
there's so many houses that there's actually not room for plants and animals to breed. It's just maybe one animal breeding per household.
What? Well, I kind of moved my foot to get it in front of the fan there and came back to what you were saying. And look, but I guess it's still a challenging environment because it's wet. So everything needs to be able to swim or live above it.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of things. To be fair, it's wet, but you have to kind of yeah.
What was that? What was that?
Like there's swamps, but there's ground in swamps, isn't it? It's just wet ground. And
you
won't
say
sink
it's
through
wet ground, Connor. I think that's a bit of a sort of generalisation. I think. I think okay.
Well, I think it's generalisation. Everything has to swim.
Yes. Well. If it's got it, look. If it's very water based, if an area is very water based, but it's got a lot of trees, then obviously things are likely to be able to swim, aren't they?
Birds.
Yep.
They don't have to swim.
Well, they can fly, can't they?
Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, I know it is.
So they've either got
it's different to swimming.
It is. It's like swimming in the air.
That's what they call it.
That's what
penguins are just doing, aren't they? They're just swimming underwater. They're flying underwater.
There. And they say about albatrosses, they are the fish of the air.
Yep.
But yeah, so all animals have either got to be able to swim or fly.
No, they don't.
Well, they have, haven't they?
Oh, not on wetlands.
Or wade in wetlands.
Oh, right.
So they've either got to...
Because flamingos...
Swim,
fly,
or
live
wade.
in wetlands.
They can fly.
Flamingos do kind of live in wetlands. But they don't fly very far, though, do they?
No, because when we say swamps, and we picked the word swamps for the biome, but wetlands can be very, very different around the earth. So, you've got ones that are...
You said we're not going to do a podcast on individual things like bogs and... marshes.
Not at this stage, no. Not until we break it down.
Not until we're
barely doing
run
this.
out of ideas. Because
exactly.
Why do you think we're doing one of them swamps in the first place?
Exactly. So we've worked that one out, yeah. So we've worked out that you've either got to wade, fly, or swim.
I think we disagree on that one, but okay.
Okay. So do you know where the biggest wetland is?
Do ants swim and do they wade?
Ants float. So you've either got because they go on leaves, don't they? They make little boats.
Yeah.
So you've either got to float, wade, swim, or fly. I'll give you that, but nothing else. So it's quite difficult.
So all of everything.
Everything either.
Apart from, but they can walk because some of them can
walk on top of the others.
Like you may walk on a branch of a tree or something.
Yeah.
So you don't need to float either. So you can either walk, float, fly, swim,
or climb.
Or wade.
And
or climb. So all of them. You can do everything in a swamp.
No, but because there's other things other than those things. Right? The biggest wetland, I think we're spending too much time on that, getting hung up on what you can do in a bog. At more than 42 million acres, the Pantanal is the largest tropical wetland and one of the most untouched in the world.
Did you pronounce that correctly?
The Pantanal, yeah. It's either Pantanal or Pantanal, but it hasn't got a hyphen in it, so I'm presuming it's Pantanal. It sprawls across Bolivia, Brazil, and Paraguay. It has a huge tourist industry and is responsible for 3% of the entire world's wetlands.
So we're talking about have to wade.
Oh, God, this is going to blow your mind. No, look. Yeah, they do, all in boats. So you can sail. But that's...
Like the ants.
No.
Like the ants.
Yeah, but sailing's you can't bring in things that we've made.
Ants do it with their leaves.
Yeah, but leaves are a natural thing.
So
I know wood is, before you say that, I didn't get in quick enough. No, look, I think it's worth repeating this. One, because I forgot what I was saying. And two, because it's so incredible. I said earlier, wetlands cover only 6% of the Earth's surface. The Pantanal, right, covers 3% of the entire world's wetlands. So
it covers
3% of that 6% is the Pantanal.
Oh, so that's a very small percentage then.
Well, no. Oh, no. No. 3%. So 3% of the world's wetland, of the Earth's wetlands is the Pantanal. And the other 3% is spread across the rest of the Earth.
Oh, right, okay.
It's
so
huge.
It's half of the...
Yeah. That's what I was trying to get to.
Look how we got that out.
I've put apex predator here. What does that mean?
Just like the top one.
I thought we did.
Top dog. Did you not know?
Well, I put it down and then I thought I knew, and I did. But I just thought I'd check with you. The apex predator for the Pantanal is the jaguar.
Mm.
Now, the jaguar wades, climbs. So some of the animals can do several things.
Can it swim?
It can swim, I
think.
Can
it fly?
It can't fly. It can't fly. It can't fly. But I'll tell you what can fly is the biggest parrot ever the hyacinth macaw that's native to the Pantanal. So Pantanal. So there you have it, right? So that's the biggest wetland. Now we've
Can
had
that one swim?
What?
Can it swim?
What, the macaw?
Yeah.
No, it can. I suppose it can climb. It might be able to wade, but I wouldn't suggest
But
it
it can't
does.
sail.
No, they're not very good at that. Our experiences.
Pirates classically can sail though.
Yeah, but you're just talking about people that can
Macaws
do
are
different things. I'm
Macaws
talking
are
about
pirates.
Yeah, I'm talking about wildlife being able
but
to use the
Parrots
stuff.
are on pirate ships.
Well, if they're on someone's shoulder, like they normally are, they should be all right.
'Cause that's
yeah.
always where they are.
Unless it's a peg leg and he gets stuck.
You right?
Yeah. Our experience of wetlands, swamps, right? Obviously, the UK has its own fair share of wetlands. So,
Like Two Tree Island.
well, parts of Two Tree
Marsh.
Line would be marsh, yeah. But we've visited Florida several times. And I think the last time we went to
5 times.
Florida, because I was listening to you at the same time, right? My mouth was still moving.
What the hell is going on?
I don't really know. I told you I was struggling. But we went to, much to your disgust, last time we went to...
Not last time, time before.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Time before.
2012.
We went to the Everglades.
Yep.
Or specifically to Boggy Creek.
Yep.
Which has got 2 wetlands in its title.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you notice that? I've only just thought of that. That was clever.
And it's a swamp, isn't it?
Clever. We went
It's
on
called Boggy Creek and it's a swamp.
Yeah, so it's 3 things. So the Everglades itself is 1.5 million acre national park.
And they're Evergladed.
Yes.
There's 2 of them, isn't there?
What?
There's 2 Everglades.
Oh, what do you mean?
Isn't there one in Florida and one in Australia?
Oh, yes, there possibly is, yeah, but I'm talking about Florida here. So if you'd let me go on there, 1.5 million acre national park on the southern tip of Florida. Not to be confused with the one in Australia. Made up of coastal mangroves, sawgrass, marshes.
I really interrupted and made you look like you're just reading off a piece of paper and me look smart.
No, I see. If you thought I read that off a piece of paper, I actually just made that bit up, put it in. So there you go. Right, so it's made up of coastal mangroves.
So you don't actually know if what I said is correct?
No, it is correct. I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not written on your piece of paper.
It's not written on my piece of paper. Coastal mangroves, sawgrass marshes, and pine flatwoods. The water in the Everglades is so shallow that a parrot. No. It's so shallow that most of it is less than a few feet deep. So only a big parrot and can be waded through, although that's not advised.
Oh.
Do you know why that's not advised?
Yeah, because Florida is the only place in the world that has both crocodiles and alligators.
It certainly is. Well done. There are over 200,000 alligators in the Everglades in Florida.
There's a lot of
and there's
alligators, isn't
over 1.5 million in the state of Florida. Now, we've been to Florida a number of times.
5 times.
And we stay in like villas a little bit out from the parks and whatnot. But quite often you see the alligators, even like smaller ones perhaps, have got into people's swimming pools. Mm-hmm. There's often lakes by the side of these complexes and they're in the lakes. I don't know if we've seen one other than in the Everglades up until now when we've been in Florida. I don't think we've seen one like...
No, but we always keep an eye out, don't we?
We do.
Because
they're bound to be
we've
there.
stayed
They're
like
gonna
near
be
golf courses and famously they're on golf courses.
Oh, yeah.
And people swim
quite
pools
often.
and stuff.
Yeah. Great golfers.
Near storm drains and stuff like that.
Yes.
I held an alligator, didn't I?
You did hold an alligator.
It was a baby one, but...
It was a baby one. But we went on that...
That long.
Yes.
Works well for a podcast.
About as big as your printer.
Yeah, big printer.
So...
Pixma Pro 200, if you want to know the size of it.
Want to know the size of it? If you compare that, you'll know how big that alligator was.
Yeah.
So we went on this airboat.
Google
we had to wear headphones or earmuffs.
Ear protectors.
Ear protectors, that's what I was thinking of. Because it's so
Probably
loud.
hats.
But it was great, wasn't it? he went for it across there. I think they do it was almost like a thrill ride at that point. But then we went into the reeds and he was trying to show the wildlife that were there. And I think
there was a nest, wasn't there?
There was a nest with an alligator. And it brought back, when I started doing this, how frustrating and embarrassing that trip was. Because basically they said, anybody got any questions? And I thought, I've got a question. And I said to the guy who was running it, and he'd stopped the airboat, and he was standing at the front talking about, and there was an alligator by the side of the boat. Excuse me. And he said, and I said to him, I've got a question. So do the alligators get used to you? Are they, do they ignore you because they see you so often? You come around here, so you're known. And he went, oh, well, I wouldn't get in there. He said, because they're wild, aren't they? So, and I felt so stupid. What I was basically saying to him was, you come up and down this several times a day on an airboat, so they're used to airboats. He's this one's by its nest. It obviously isn't going nuts at us to keep away from the nest, because he's probably parked up like that numerous times to it. My point is, they're a little bit tame in respect of, I wouldn't get in a water with it, of course I wouldn't, but in respect of they're used to having people look at them, so they're not straight away fleeing the nest or
I understand your
attacking.
question.
Thank you.
I understand your question. And I feel like you're just trying to get it off your chest because it irritated you for
because
many
things
years.
like that, things like I've done that embarrass me. Yeah, keep with me. But that was an experience, wasn't it?
There was an experience. Yeah. You know Steve Irwin?
Yes.
He used to get with crocodiles, didn't he? Not get with crocodiles, but
did he? That's going to come out. No, well, it's about understanding what you can and can't do. I mean, some of the things Steve Irwin did, I'm a great admirer of the stuff he did, was a bit, I mean, we all liked it because it seemed a bit mad, but obviously he did know what he was doing. He knew how to handle crocodiles. It was mainly crocodiles because he was like in Oz, wasn't he? So
he was the crocodile hunter.
But I mean, if you respect wildlife most of the time, other animals from the that live in swamps and things like that, and probably particularly the Everglades, black bears, crocodiles, like you said, soft-shell turtle, snapping turtle. There's various snakes.
Boo.
Yes, I thought you'd do that. Raccoons, possums, frogs, deer, and rabbits. Right, that's it. But we talked about apex predators.
Do the bears walk, or do they swim, or wade, or fly?
Well, they mainly stick to the shallow end.
Is there a sign on the shallow end?
I'm not sure, but they move around. They can swim, bears, can't they?
How about the deer?
And the deers will wade.
And they climb.
And well, to a certain degree, they can't fly. No, only the rabbits.
The rabbits do with their ears.
With the ears, like a helicopter.
Yeah.
All right, apex predator.
Don't see that after the wild.
You're not going to like this, but it's an interesting fact, and I've watched some
big
documentaries.
Snake,
so basically, the apex predator in the Everglades is the Burmese python. Now, obviously, they're not native to Florida. But
they're native to Burma.
But they're actually, quite.
Although that doesn't exist anymore, Burma.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's called a different name, I think.
But the thing is that they've either escaped or people have released them. But they're so prominent in that area now. They're starting to wipe out.
Myanmar, it's called now. Sorry.
All right. They're starting to wipe out rodents that naturally live there because
capybara,
things like that, because they are they're not supposed to be there. And I think still now you've got programs now where people go and hunt them. They get reports of them and hunt the pythons, and they are able to kill them because they're
culling
indigenous.
them, aren't they?
Yeah. But
like grey
they've
squirrels.
got the same problem with anacondas, but they're not in the same numbers within that sort of area as well. But it's mad. It is. It's becoming a real bad problem. and quite horrific, to be honest with you.
I think one of the things that puts me off about snakes, when I say puts me off, is one of many things, but one thing I saw was the time that a snake ate an alligator.
Yes.
And I just think that's horrifying that it ate something whole.
It's the fact
I think
that
that's
it
what
can
I
stretch.
hate. That's what I hate about snakes is that I respect them. They can live on this planet, but I don't really want to come in contact with them because they eat things whole. They don't even kill them first; they just eat them. And I think that's what I find horrifying is they just go.
It is quite horrifying to see, and I would avoid watching it. And I've got a healthy respect for my.
At least a tiger kills its prey before eating it.
Well, we'll find out that next week.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, you know, one of the things we have talked about at the end of these biomes episodes is about where do we go. Like the tundra is disappearing. With global warming and climate change and other issues and that.
Client change,
different clients coming in there. It is suffering in certain areas, but obviously there's a lot of more floodlands, and the increase of the water levels is creating other areas as well that weren't wetlands in the first place. So it's quite
the wetlands are becoming lakes.
There's quite a complicated thing that's happening with. I wouldn't say that they're disappearing. There's certainly still
they're moving
issues because we just talked about the pythons because they've been introduced, whether accidentally or on purpose, into areas. They completely change the ecosystem in that area, and that's down to us.
Yeah.
So we're still.
You.
Yeah, we are still. What we need to do is we need to get all the biomes up on the moon.
Yeah, that's it.
I've just thought of that actually, and we should suggest that as the next thing.
But not
on
take the
for
snakes there because
or frogs or toads.
All this speak of wetlands.
What makes you want to go to the toilet?
No, makes me think
want to go to the
I
toilet.
want my ears to be moistened with music.
Ooh, that sounds a bit grim. I don't know quite what that is, but if you just want music, I've got music for you. I've written a song.
I've got moist music.
It's it talks about moist things. So I've got a song, and it's in keeping with our subject matter today, as always.
That's a good idea.
And it's called "This Is My Swamp."
All right, I'll play your song.
It's not only ogres that live in swamps. The wildlife is stunning, all you could want. From beavers to turtles, from otters to frogs. You never know what's under a damp log. It's permanently soggy, sludgy and boggy, and the caiman will snap you up. The water does smell like it's straight from hell, but it's my country, my home, my love. This is my swamp. This is my swamp. It might not be your idea of Eden, but it's all that I want. This is my swamp. Get out of my swamp. This place is not for you, my dear. Best try somewhere different. Careful where you're walking and cut out all the talking, 'cause there's things here that will eat you alive. So best you stay away and try another way if you want to escape and survive. So if you find yourself in the Everglades on an airboat in Boggy Creek, take heed of my warnings, be careful when boarding, and watch up where you're putting your feet. This is my swamp. This is my swamp. It's all that I want. This is my swamp. Get out of my swamp. This place is not for you, my dear. Best try somewhere different. Better watch out for mosquitoes as you stroll around eating your Doritos. This is my swamp. This is my swamp. It might not be your idea of Eden, but it's all that I want. This is my swamp. Get out of my swamp. This place is not for you, my dear. Best try somewhere different. This is my swamp. This is my swamp. It might not be your idea of Eden, but it's all that I want.
Game time.
Woohoo! What a lovely song. Now, shall we play a game?
We can play a game if you like. I've got a little game, and it's a bit of a true or false.
No. Wait.
It is.
I don't know why I said it like that.
Way. Yeah, it is. Way. It's a bit of a true or false.
Does it fly?
If you play the sting, I think I'll try and explain it a little bit more afterwards.
Okay.
What's that beastie swimming by with the long black tail and 15 eyes? Hear the shrieks of the passers-by. Is it real or fake?
Now, what a lovely sting. Can you explain yourself?
Thank you very much for the compliment about the sting, and I will. Okay, so I've got this swamp quiz, right?
Swamp quiz.
We have already talked about the incredible plethora of life in the wetlands, but can you tell
Nice
me...
word.
Thank you. Can you tell me which of the following are actual species of animal that frequent these unique areas,
Oh, another good word.
and which of these swamps are in fact real places? So basically, I have got a little description, 9 descriptions of animals. And you've got to
Interesting
tell
choice of
me...
number.
Well, no. And then the 10th question, I've got 5 potential swamps.
So 14 questions.
Yeah. So 5 potential swamps, and you've got to tell me whether they're real or not. Okay, so I'm going to give you a description of an animal, and you've got to tell me if this animal actually exists in a swamp or at all. I have a little cough first.
We'll do it together.
Thank you. Question 1. The devil's hole pupfish. This particular pupfish is bright blue in colour and gets its name from the water-filled cavern in the state of Nevada that it lives in. It lacks pelvic fins and feeds on other fish and small insects. Is that?
What's the name of the fish again?
It's called a devil's hole pupfish. Is that a real thing that lives in a real cavern, in a real swamp or wetland, or is that something I've made up?
Does Nevada have wetlands?
Well, if Nevada doesn't have wetlands, then where on earth does the devil's hole pupfish live?
I'm going to go with a false.
You're going to go with false for that
No.
first one? No, you're not going to go with false.
I wanted to say true because it doesn't sound like one you've made up.
Well, say true then.
But I'm going to go true.
That is true. The devil's hole pupfish, a rather beautiful fish, I might add, as well.
Blue.
You might want to look that up. It's a beautiful bright blue as well, and I've said beautiful 3 times now and there. Right, here we go then. Question 2. Well done, 1 out of 1. Question 2, although I did push you in the right direction there. Question 2, the giant 4-toed sloth. This endangered sloth. This endangered animal's home is on a small island off the coast of Argentina. Its unique 4th toe does not appear to be significant, but may be an evolutionary throwback. The head to body length is around 3 foot long, making it the largest of its species in existence. The giant 4-toed sloth.
Sloth.
Or sloth.
True.
That is false. There's no such thing as a giant 4-toed sloth.
Or sloth.
Or sloth. There is a pygmy 3-toed sloth that lives in the swamps.
Sloth.
Or sloth. Question 3. The magpie goose. This
Lost
common
interest now because I got one wrong.
Shut up. This common water bird is found in northern Australia and southern New Guinea. In the native language of Australia, it is known as the Manimunnak.
Oh, true.
Manimunnak. It gets its name as it looks like a goose wearing a magpie costume. Is that true or false?
True.
That is true. It does look like a goose wearing a
Because you
magpie
wouldn't
costume.
make up something that you can't say.
You'll be surprised. Right, so you're doing right. You could still get 10 here because obviously there's 14 questions.
Oh.
All right. Okay. What about question 4? The Nile netchwe. This endangered species of antelope is found in the south of Sudan and Ethiopia. Their favourite food is wild rice, and the females are very loud, making a toad-like croaking when they move. The Nile netchwe are often infected by warble flies, which can make them unhealthy and sometimes dead, which, as we know, is the worst kind of unhealthy.
Oh, there we go. That was false.
That's true. So the Nile netchwe, they are antelope, and they have this horrible warble fly that attacks them. Okay, question 6.
There's the worst kind of unhealthy.
I think what I'll do first is do question 5. Question 5, Welsh rabbit. The Welsh rabbit.
False.
Oh, come on, let me get to the end of it. The Welsh rabbit. This particular breed of rabbit is in serious decline as most of its habitat has been destroyed by agricultural and man-made purposes. Found on the northern coast of Wales, there is estimated to be only a few thousand left. They are distinctive because of the yellow gold tuft on their hair that they have on the crown of their head, which lead them to be nicknamed royal rabbits. Is that true or false?
It's false.
Yes,
it's Welsh
it is
rabbit.
false. Yeah, no, it's cheese on toast. Right. Actually, you do get marsh rabbits, but not, and they're the ones that are getting wiped out by the pythons in the Everglades.
So sometimes they do Welsh rabbit at the canteen at work. And this was back when Lucy was working there as well. They had Welsh rabbit on the menu, and I was quite excited. But then Lucy pointed out to me that they actually wrote rabbit. She went, no, this rabbit. I went, no, it'd be rabbit. I went over and it did say rabbit. And I was thinking, it's got to be rabbit.
Yeah, but I think I have seen it spelled
and then they
different
did cheese
ways.
on toast.
Yeah, I love cheese on toast.
But the thing is though, Welsh rabbit is like posh cheese on toast.
Yeah.
I will say, they've done Welsh rabbit before and it's been really good. This Welsh rabbit was just cheese on toast.
The person who made the best cheese on toast, and as we called it cheese on, is my mother.
Even that she did, but there was that time that she just
put far too much cheese on it.
Far too much cheese on it, and it was not melted in the middle, and then just it went, do you want more? And then would come out with more, and we just keep having more cheese on toast.
Oh, she would keep you fed. I've had my dinner. I'll just give you this then. You don't have to eat it.
You used to go around there and have lunch, and then eat dinner around there.
Well, I already had lunch,
and then meant to come home and have dinner here.
Yeah. I was so fat. Question 6. The southern pancake terrapin. Frequenting the river, estuaries and mangroves of Southeast Asia, and the southern pancake terrapin is in decline due to its bizarre mating rituals. When the male senses a mate, he will approach a much larger creature in what appears to be a show of strength and dominance. This often means that the terrapin is crushed, injured or eaten, but before it's been able to seal the deal. Is that true or false? The southern pancake terrapin.
I'm going to go false.
That is false. In fact, there is a painted river terrapin.
I've seen one.
Doesn't try and attack other animals like antelopes or crocodiles.
I thought pancake terrapin might have been a flat terrapin, but at the same time...
Well, I started right now, and pancake terrapin, and I was going to say that it was a delicacy. People have put fruit or bacon on it, but then I thought, no, that's just sick.
Majestic sea flap, or sea pancake.
Right.
That's a stingray.
Okay. Question 7. The Indian bullfrog. Usually a dull brownish colour, the Indian bullfrog turns bright yellow during mating season with the exception of some bright blue vocal sacs. It eats insects, snakes, small rodents and birds. This 6-inch amphibian is found not only in India but in Afghanistan, Nepal and Sri Lanka. But it's also invaded Madagascar and the Maldives, where it is its carnivorous tadpoles consume the tadpoles of native frogs, driving them to the edge of extinction.
True.
That is true. And I'll stand by it. Frogs and toads are horrible. Question 8.
The tiny little colourful ones are nice.
Question 8. The wood duck. This particular duck is known for its iridescent feathers and striking markings. It has exceptionally strong teeth, which it likes to show off by Sorry, I'm going to read that again.
Yep, if you could.
This particular duck is known for its iridescent feathers and striking markings. It has exceptionally strong feet.
Oh, right.
Which it
I was
likes to show off
purely on that.
by perching in what can often be quite unstable environments. The wood duck frequents the marshes and swamps of North America and eats, amongst other things, acorns. It has a unique feathered crest which looks similar to a cycling helmet. True or false?
False.
That is true.
Wow. Did you say the cycling helmet thing?
Yeah, it looks like it's got a cycling helmet on it.
Oh, so you said that bit though.
Yeah, no, this is me. This is all me. I haven't copied this out of something.
All right. Apart from the facts.
Well, no. For instance, what was true? The Indian bullfrog. Oh yeah, I did pretty much copy that.
Yeah.
Question 9.
This is kind of the penultimate to the.
So this is the penultimate. This is the final question of the animal ones, but it's the penultimate question if you don't count the other ones in question 10. Question 9. The Sitalonga. This antelope has special webbed feet that helps it navigate its way through the wetlands of Central Africa. Like most antelopes, the Sitalonga is a herbivore and feeds on aquatic plants, grasses and leaves. However, unlike other antelopes, it is able to perch by the waterside on its hind legs for significant periods of time. A study of the animal's skeleton revealed an abnormality in its pelvic bone structure, which presumably allows it this unusual flexibility. True or false?
False.
That is false. There is an antelope. It's called a Sitatunga, not a Sitalonga.
Yeah, because it sits longer by the...
Right, and this is the last question in 5 parts. I'm going to read you a name of a swamp, and you've got to tell me whether it is a swamp or it is not a swamp.
Oh, so these are just quick fire almost.
Yep. Question 10. A.
Swamp.
Pantanos
I thought the name of the thing was
Centla.
Pantanos Decempla.
Pantantalos del Centla.
True.
That is true. That's in Mexico. Number B. Okenfenokwi Swamp. Okenfenokwi Swamp. Okenfenokwi Swamp. It's changed every single time I said that.
False.
That is true. That's in USA.
I thought it might be,
I believe
but
it's in Florida, actually. Number C. Squelchy Underfoot.
False?
Yes, that's false. That's the name of a band I was in. That was one of our first
really?
names, yeah. Question D. Number D. Tulimbin. Tulimbin.
Tulimbin.
Yeah.
True.
That is true. That's in Australia. And your last one, number E, wheelie bin.
You didn't say penultimate about D.
Oh, right, sorry. D, tooling bin. That's the penultimate one. E, wheelie bin.
False.
False. That is false. That's actually a wheelie bin. And that...
How many did they get?
Oh, no. Well, you got that one. You got that one. You got that one. You got about. You got 12 out of a possible 14.
I don't think that's true.
You got 11 out of a possible 14.
Is that true?
You got 10 out of
I'll
a possible.
take 10.
Okay, well done.
So that's full marks, isn't it?
That's full marks. Well done. And that is the end of my little quiz. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did. It was a good quiz.
Just find out a little bit more about swamps today.
Oh, forget it. But yep.
I thought that particular episode was very informative about swamps. I think
it's
if you
more
find
informative
yourself,
about swamps than any other episode we've done.
Yeah, we didn't talk anything about it when we did the deserts. I nearly said desserts. So we talked a lot about desserts.
We
in the
did talk
desert
about
one.
desserts.
But yes, I think we focused quite heavily on swamps today, so that's good.
That's good. That's good for an episode called Swamps.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay.
Well, if you have any questions about swamps, or if you have any questions, suggestions, complaints, or comments, you can send them to us by going to our website, fatherandsundays.com, and go to the Contact Us page, or you can email us at contactus@fatherandsundays.com. All of our episodes are available on the website, but you can also get them on the chosen podcast platform, whether that be Spotify or something else. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, X, like, follow, share. Yes.
That sort of thing, yeah?
That sort of thing.
Well, that's good. And, I'd encourage people to do that. Go on, you were going to say something?
No, I was going to say something else. I'll say something else, but you say what you were going to say first.
Okay, so I'd encourage people to engage with us. It's quite nice when people show some interest.
Yep.
Because it gets a bit demoralising otherwise.
Yep. I think just before you say what's happening next week, because you were about to say what is happening next week.
Well, next week we've got a episode, and it's part of our Predators season. I know that's been a real popular one. We found out a lot about animals that you need to avoid, and the animal you need to avoid next week is tigers.
So your homework this week is to avoid
tigers. Find out as much as you can about tigers, and then listen to it and say that's not right when I'm talking. So I'm quite interested in it. I've written a song about it already, which I'm very, very pleased with, I'm looking forward to it.
I did want to touch on something though. Is in the next couple of weeks we might be having a couple of weeks off.
Yes, that is quite possible.
So I think we've got a podcast coming out next week. Will that potentially be the last one?
There is two. I meant to speak to you about this before, and this is probably not the time or place now. Airing it in front of all our.
There's two prepared, isn't there? So. Basically, next week could be the last one. However, if we get the opportunity to record two next week, then...
we'll do it. But I think what will happen is next week, when you hear the Tigers episode, we'll be able to tell you whether there's going to be a follow-on episode or whether there's going to be a couple of weeks before we release it.
So we'll either see you next week for the last episode or next week for the penultimate one before we take a quick break.
So I hope that's clear.
Yes.
And on that note,
we'll be either with you.
Oh no!
Next
Please
week.
don't complicate it even more. So on that note, I'd like to say bye.
Bye.